Crown Royal Noble Collection French Oak Cask Finished, a limited release. Is it any good? Let's unbox it and check it out on Whiskey Whistle. Hey whiskey lovers, Mark here from Whiskey Whistle on YouTube, sharing a little whiskey awesomeness in Winnipeg, the center of North America, bringing you Kabam! Crown Royal Noble Collection, their latest. This is the French Oak Cask Finish. So excited to present this to you because, in fact, 3 years ago, I presented the first Noble Collection, the Cornerstone Blend, on my channel, and that was actually a very popular video and also a whiskey that I really liked. I'll preface this by saying that I've already tasted this at a Crown Royal tasting. I paid for 2 tickets for my wife and I. And Stephen Wilson, the global brand ambassador, I think he has another title. I apologize, Stephen. He came to Winnipeg and presented the whiskeys, all of them. We got some free glasses. We got some free hats. So let's get that unboxed. We'll do the full unboxing here. I haven't actually looked inside, so I'm really excited. Look at that beautiful velvet bag. Hello. And very excited. This is a little bit more luxurious than their standard bag. It feels like I could wear this. So let's get that opened. And we'll do the real reveal here. Okay, here we go. Here it comes. Let's unclothe this beautiful bottle. Isn't that nice? Woohoo! There you go. I'll keep that over there. See if we can get the Crown Royal showing. There we go. All right. So let's get that cracked open. We're going to pour it. Then we're going to check out the color of the whiskey. After that, we'll look at the legs. Does Crown Royal French Oak Cask Finished, that's a mouthful, does that have some nice legs and hence some nice viscosity on the palate? And then we'll check out the nose, the smell. We'll check out the palate, how it tastes. We'll check out the finish, the aftertaste. And then finally, we'll give that a Whiskey Whistle Whisky Score. Then we'll do a couple other things, and I'm going to try to run through that fairly quickly with you. Okay, so there's the bottle. It's got a nice little old school kind of a paper sticker on there so that you know that it's new. So let's crack that open. Ready? There we go. Not much of a sound there. There we go. Tiny. Heavy, nice solid wood cork stopper there. And a composite cork. That should probably do quite nicely. Now I'm going to pour that into the Glencairn first of all. And we're going to pour a nice hefty pour. And can you see the sunlight catching that just right, isn't it? Cool stuff. Okay. All right, and so we'll run through the general tasting. I'm going to try it on ice in my new Crown Royal glasses. And if I've got time, I'm going to make the recommended Serb, which is a Northern Buck. So I'm going to do a deluxe Northern Buck. Now, by the way, this is fine deluxe that has been extra matured for 3 to 4 months in these amazing French oak casks. And let me tell you, they are amazing. So that should make a kick-ass Northern Buck. All right, so first of all, as I mentioned, I'm going to move those to the side a bit, I think. Okay, let's check out the color of that Crown Royal Noble Collection Northern, what is it called again? French Oak Cask Finished. French Oak Cask Finished. There we go. And yeah, it's a limited release, but you know, it's probably, I don't know, 50,000, 100,000 bottles. Obviously it's a one-off, so when these are gone, it's gone, and then you'll have to wait for next year's Noble Collection release. It's 40% ABV. Tisk tisk, I'll give you a slight minus point for that. But folks, let me tell you that this really does make up for it in its just overall gutsy, beautiful flavors that come from those French oak casks. Okay, so on to the legs. I love checking out those legs. Here we go. And no, that is not a joke. It has very nice legs, given that this is 40% ABV. Telling me that those French oak casks did something very profound to the whiskey. Yep. Beautiful legs, nice and slow. Okay, and as I mentioned, we're going to now get onto the nose. We'll smell it, then we'll taste it. We'll check out the finish, the aftertaste. We're going to give it a WhiskyWhistle Whisky Score, as we do. And then we're going to play with the whiskey a little bit and just see what else we can do with this. The nose. You get beautiful spice right off the bat. Your nose would probably say, wait a minute, is that Crown Royal? But then when you dig a bit deeper, you do recognize, and my mouth is salivating by the way, you do recognize some typical Crown Royal notes. There is a pan-fried banana. There is lots of cinnamon. And I'm getting some nutmeg, which typically comes from those French oak casks, pardon me. And I have to say that probably for me, French oak is #1 in terms of my favorite casking for Scotch whiskey in general. And to see this happening for a Canadian whiskey, a rye, that's really beautiful. I want to buy some of those casks. I'm getting a little bit of cola. There's a little bit of light citrus, huge sweet notes here. It's sweet, spicy, a tiny little hint of citrus, very nicely balanced. All right, let's check out the palate. Cheers, everybody, and a big cheers to Stephen Wilson, who came up to Winnipeg. Cheers to you. Okay, there we go. I like this. It has a nice little volume adjust. Okay. Of course, you can probably hear my fingers touching it. The palate again. Cheers again. Beautiful spice. Very spicy. From the front to the back to the finish, lots and lots of spice. It's a rich spice. It's a sweet spice. It's an aromatic spice. And don't forget to let the whiskey just play around in your mouth. And take small quantities, especially if you are new to whiskey. I do get some beautiful rye. There's no question there's some nice spice in there. Minty, slight, it's like apple skins. But then it's got that creamy banana core and the spice, that nutmeg, maybe even a bit of, is it coriander? That's a quite sweet aromatic as well. I think so. Or is it cardamom? I always confuse the two. One's a little bit more savory. Cardamom. Tiny bit of mace. Now, do you know what mace is? And I just learned this, so I'm not trying to, tout my prowess in the spice department. But mace is the ground shells of nutmeg nuts. Isn't that wild? And the mace has a little bit more fragrance to it. The mouthfeel, by the way, is a little bit slightly more substantial than your typical 40%, 80 proof whiskeys. And the aftertaste, the finish, lots of spice, cinnamon, nutmeg, a little bit of ginger. It's very sweet finish, mildly dry, and delightful. Very nice. You certainly don't have to add water, but what I like to do, especially when they're 40%, is just add a couple of drops, 3 drops. I think we'll add 1 more drop. There. Because you may notice some things that you didn't notice before because you've reduced the alcohol by volume a little bit. I highly recommend that you try that, even if you just try it once per bottle, so you can decide whether or not you want to do it again with that particular whiskey. Some whiskeys, I kid you not, it is like night and day. There's an airplane flying overhead. Okay, so now with water, it gets a little bit floral. And again, that's that French oak cask talking. Floral, or more like aromatic woods, like a cedar. Sandalwood even. I think that's really worth it to try with water. All right, cheers again. Let's try that with water. What's happened is the astringency, the slightly bitter tones. In every whiskey there's a bit of bitterness, but here it's been really diminished and really releasing a lot of spice, which is nice. Let me try that one more time with water. Amazing. Well worth it, and I highly recommend you try adding just, that's about a little more than an ounce. So you add just a couple little drops, and if you're at a let's say you're at a bar, and of course they probably don't have, a lot of bars don't have Glencairns, but you can get, you just your basic tumblers fine too, especially for the palate. There's some debate on that too, but just get a straw and use your straw with your finger to just drop a little bit of water in and see how it turns out for you. Drink half of your whiskey the way you like, neat, and then add a little bit, just a couple drops of water in, and just see if there's any changes. And if there's nothing for you that is improved, then just never do that again. And adding 2 drops of water, 3 drops of water to your whiskey is not going to diminish the experience of it. So that's what I recommend. All right, one more taste here. Love it. Wow, I love that. Now, I really wonder, is that really your fine deluxe put into barrels for 3 to 4 months? I guess it could be. There would be a lot of absorption by the wood, and then also stuff from the wood going into the whiskey continually. And depending on the season, I'm sure they would do that in a warmer season to get the best out of it. And given that it's coming out now, this was probably ready by, I'm guessing it was all ready by October, November, would be my guess. But anyway, absolutely, those 3 to 4 months will have a massive impact on the whiskey. And in Canada, if you're at duty free, I'll just mention another whiskey that's been finished just for 100 days, and that is the Wayne Gretzky 99 proof. Delicious stuff as well. All right, anyway, time to get on to the WhiskyWhistle Whisky Score for Crown Royal Noble Collection French Oak Cask Finish. Boom, I got it all. And that, folks, is going to be, I think I should pull up the bottle and the can. Okay, the WhiskyWhistle Whisky Score for this baby, this Crown Royal Noble Collection French oak cask finished, folks. That's going to be 90 out of 100. Yep, you heard it. 90 out of 100 is the Whiskey Whistle Whisky Score for this beautiful, beautiful Crown Royal. This is definitely something to try. You may not like the proof, okay? So as I mentioned, this would be altogether next level. Next level. This is next level whiskey. This would be next level at, say, 86 proof. All right. Okay, so now let's have a little bit of fun here. First of all, we are going to try that with ice. I think I forgot the... Yeah, I did. Oh well, I used my hands. Don't worry, they're clean. We will try that on ice. I'm going to add a little more. And yeah, I'm going to be using a lot of this tonight because you really want to be able to see what things look like. Anyway, I mean, it just looks like Crown Royal on ice. But how does it smell and taste? And you really just get only the spice now, and a little bit of that fried banana scent. Very, very, very sweet with ice. This becomes extremely sweet with ice, and I think that would be a summer favorite for a lot of people. And if you know, well, if you're a woman and your husband isn't really big on whiskey, or if you're a guy and your wife isn't really big on whiskey, I'll bet you that they'll like this. This is just amazing. Very sweet, very luscious, very spicy, very refreshing. Wow. Okay, this is still very, very high on my books. Beautiful on ice. Okay, now then, we're gonna make a quick little cocktail. So what do I need? I'm gonna use my own bitters. That's right, the Whistle bitters. Whiskey Whistle Whistle bitters. Secret ingredients made this. Let's see if I can pour that properly. This it's a little bit weaker than I would have liked. I was trying to refract. Is that what it's called? Freeze distillation is the layman's term, but it's actually not called distillation. Anyway, I tried to use freeze distillation to increase the ABV, and it's ended up being a aromatic bitters that has citrus and a little bit of marshmallow type of flavors in there. Okay, and then we'll add our ice. And we'll add our Crown Royal Noble Collection French oak cask finished. 1.5 ounces, they say. There we go. Oh, and I forgot the club soda. Ah, another thing. Okay, so we're gonna add, instead of ginger ale, I'm gonna add Canada Dry. Canada Dry club soda. And I would recommend this if you're not into really sweet cocktails. If you do want sweet cocktails, then you're gonna add your ginger ale. And yeah, so I guess 7-Up would do in a pinch. Squeeze a little bit, not too much. That calls for a little bit of lime juice. Maybe I'll just squeeze that slightly. There, that's enough, I think. Okay, and our club soda. Love that sound. So what I've made essentially, and I forgot a stir stick, is a kind of like a highball, but it's more like an old-fashioned because it's got the bitters in there. I'll use my knife. When you're stirring things that has fizz, just do it gently because you don't want to kill the fizz. All right, so here is my take on the Northern Buck. Cheers, everybody, and cheers to Crown Royal. Oh, jumped out of there. Very refreshing. Does it need more whistle bitters? I think it does. There we go. Pardon the noise. Okay, one more taste. Oh yeah, that's nice. Oh, beautiful. Well, can't really say that it does much in a cocktail. It does add a little bit of that spice component that I mentioned, but really beautiful on ice. Very, very sweet, and doesn't have that stark bitterness that you sometimes get when you add certain bourbons. Put them on ice, which I really don't like all that much. There's very few bourbons that I enjoy on ice. And best of all, enjoy this neat. Get that for your whiskey club and share it with your friends. Because boy, this is just a beautiful whiskey and they'll love it too. Well, hope you like that. 90 out of 100 again was the WhiskyWhistle Whisky Score. Maybe get a couple of them so you can keep one back to compare with next year's Noble Collection. Hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to click the little emblem over here to subscribe to Whiskey Whistle. Hit the bell so you're notified of the future Whiskey Whistles coming out. There's a few a week usually. And if you happen to be in Winnipeg, why not join the Winnipeg Whiskey Club? WinnipegWhiskeyClub.com is a website. Mark at WinnipegWhiskeyClub.com. There's also a Facebook group, Twitter, Instagram, all right? And lastly, if you really enjoyed this, then check me out on Patreon. Become a part of the Whiskey Whistle crew and support this channel, okay? Take care, everybody. We'll see you for the next one. Goodbye now. Thanks for watching Whiskey Whistle. Be sure to subscribe, and don't forget to give this video a like, and leave a comment down below. Be sure to stay tuned next time to join me, the host of the show, Mark, as I explore more whiskeys with you. Take care now, and we'll see you next time. If you know